Hello and welcome. This is Gordon De Silva, MD of Gordon's Night, and welcome you to this very short and succinct, I'm hoping, budget July 2015 briefing on one particular aspect of it, and that aspect is going to be dividends. So let's just look at what the goal is of business. So for most businesses, they want to grow their business, they want to increase their income, they want to increase their wealth, they want to increase their level of choice they have in their life, they want to increase their uh, freedom to do what they want when they want to do it, and of course, money typically helps buy that. And my opinion is that there is probably no better way to create wealth, to create this freedom than an owner-managed business, because you have complete control of your destiny. If you follow great business principles, you can achieve that. So that's the goal. The background, of course, is that with this in mind, we typically set up limited companies because it always has been a lower tax vehicle, because one particular element of it helped that, maybe two. The first one is that you could pay yourself dividends which do not carry national insurance. And so that in itself saves a lump of money. The second key element of a limited company, which is still valid even after this budget, is that you do not pay higher rate taxes on anything you do not draw out. If it stays in the company, you pay 20%, and that's now reducing to 18% in the next 5 years of this parliament. However, if you take the money out, you get taxed at your marginal rates of tax, which could be 20%, it could be 40%, it could be 45%, and we'll talk about how that has all gone up in the next year if this budget goes through. And that, of course, brings me to the point that this is only a budget announcement. It's not the Finance Act, and it hasn't been passed through Parliament. We will know more in the next few months on how that goes through Parliament. But it's a new government. It's got a majority. I suspect it's going to get through. So let's take it from there. So we then have dividends as the key element. It allows you to distribute the income without salary, and as a result, you pay no national insurance. And it's a really low tax route of taking money out in principle. And it's one we use, it's a strategy we use for many, many, many clients, which is why I'm creating this video, because this change in the budget, this proposed change, is absolutely critical to our clients, and I think it's worthy of this dividend minute, and so I wanted to do this video. So basically what's going to happen is that we're going to be adding 7.5% tax to dividends if the dividends are over £5,000. So virtually every single client I have significantly more than £5,000 of dividend. And just so you understand the principle, is in the past, if you were a 40% taxpayer and you took out dividends, you'd pay 40% tax. You'd pay no national insurance. If you were a 20% taxpayer, you'd pay 20% tax and no national insurance. Significantly better than if you were a sole trader or a partnership or a limited liability partnership. Now, however, it's unfortunately a reasonably clever move by Osborne. I don't like saying that, but it is clever. You gotta give credit where credit is due. He's managed to tax bravely and raise money for the exchequer, which is clearly the message of the day from his point of view. And if you're a 20% taxpayer, you'll now almost certainly be paying 27.5% tax. If you are a 40% taxpayer, your chances are you're going to pay 47.5% tax. And if you are a 45% taxpayer, you're probably going to end up paying 51% tax or so, right? Give or take. So just bear that in mind. That's where we're going with this. And it's important because the numbers can be quite large. On a £20,000 dividend, the tax could be £1,500. On a £40,000 dividend, £3,000. And that's every year from now on, I suspect. And the chances are this tax is only going to go up. It isn't likely it's going to come down because, and it's typically for investors, but small businesses who use the planning we talk about will unfortunately get hit hard by this. Significant more tax, okay? So that's a message I really want to get. Now, every client is going to be a little bit different, and what the options are for you, the opportunities maybe for you are going to be individual to you. And so we will have, if you wish, to do some personal planning on strategy. We'll need to look at what your business does for you, what your position is in the business, what your income levels are out of the business, what your drawing requirements are, what money you leave in the business, because all of those are going to be relevant for the decision you make next. Because what seems to be happening is the higher your income, the more likely you are to then to begin to want to trade as a non-limited company. I say non-limited company because there's three clear choices you have. You have a sole trader, which I do not like because it has unlimited liability. You have a partnership, which I don't like particularly because it has unlimited liability, and partnerships are not brilliant to run if it's with a third party. Or you have a limited liability partnership, which I like because it's got limited liability as long as you can manage the relationship with the partner. Now, if the partner is an existing party in your limited company, that's not a problem because you already have that relationship. If it's a new partner, it either needs to be someone that you can engineer a clean relationship, which is typically another business that you control, or it's a person that you're in a close relationship with and trust implicitly and have a flexible ability to make decisions and have discussions. So those are the personal planning opportunities available. Clearly, I'd love you to think about this. It's not a statute yet, so if you want to think about it early and start getting your thinking hats on, and you book a planning session early, there will be a fee for it depending on your circumstance. We'll organize a fixed fee for you on this. If you'd rather wait until it goes through Parliament, then just keep an eye out on the news. We will obviously send bulletins out. Keep an eye out on our Twitter feeds, our LinkedIn, our Facebook pages, and watch out for when the budget goes through the Finance Act, because that's the time you may want to plan. Do not leave it till April 16 because you're then going to get caught out. It's going to be a panic, and there's not going to be much thinking time for you at that point in time. So that's the personal planning opportunity for you. And those are your next steps, is either wait for the budget to be approved or call now for a personal strategy session where we're going to be looking at your strategy, your business, your profits, your drawings, your retained profits, your goals over the next 5 to 10 years, how much you like the other choices available to you. And if you're not going to change your mind on how you trade and you're willing to pay the 7.5% tax, there is absolutely no point in having a personal strategy session with me on this subject. So let me leave you with those thoughts. On this page, on this video page, there will be a link for a 10-minute quick chat. By all means, book one in. Alternatively, if you want to just wait for our next meeting together, then do that. If you're not a client yet and you'd like to think about becoming a client, a 10-minute quick chat is the best way of starting out, because we will be able to have a chat with you on your principles and our philosophy and see if there's a close match. I look forward to speaking to you soon. Take care of yourself. All the best. Goodbye.